and welcome to City Hall in New Bedford for live election coverage tonight, the general election for 2025. I'm your host, Pete Braley, joined once again by former City Councilor Jane Gonsalves. We see each other every 2 years.
Hello.
How have you been?
Nice to see you.
All right. We have some interesting races to watch tonight on this election night. Of course, no mayor's race, as the mayor now has a 4-year term, so that'll be 2 years from tonight. But let's look at some of the races that we have that we'll be watching tonight. First of all, the candidates for councilor at large. There are 10 names on the ballot. 5 will be elected. We have on the left side there, you see incumbent Ian Abreu, Shane Burgo, the incumbent, also Naomi Carney, Brian Gomes. There will be a new councilor at large this year. We'll get to that more in a moment. Jennifer Arruda is also on the ballot, also Devin Burns, Christopher Cotter, Sean Mulvey, James Roy, and Ian Saunders. Also tonight, we do have some ward races. Some of them are not contested, but in Ward 1, the incumbent Leo Choquette is running against Matthew Marco. In Ward 2, it's the incumbent Maria Giesta against Scott Pemberton. Ward 3, Sean Oliver, the incumbent, he is unopposed. So he will be returning, and also Councilor Ward 4, Derek Baptiste, the incumbent. In Ward 5, we have a contest between the incumbent Joseph Lopes and his challenger R. Rene Fernandez. In Ward 6, we have an unopposed Ryan Pereira, the incumbent. He'll be returning to office. School committee now, 3 people will be elected to this. We have the incumbent Melissa Costa, then Marcus Coward, Vaughn Marie Moniz, and Richard Porter. And finally, in the assessor at large race, the incumbent is Peter Berthium, and he is running unopposed. As we always do, Jane, we have to check in with our election commissioner. He is Manny DeBrito, and he joins us right now. How's the day been?
Long day as usual. Just running around. I think today went really well. Poll workers do a great job. I really don't think there are any major problems out there.
No issues. You didn't have to run off and get more of this, more of that.
That stuff, ballot jam here or there. But again, it's how the poll workers deal with those issues and how they handle it. And I think they did a good job today. So I'm proud of all the work that they did.
I've asked you this every time you're here, but what's the process tonight? Can you walk us through it? The polls closed at 8 o'clock. What happens then?
Polls closed at 8. The poll workers get all the paperwork together. Double check the counts and the number of ballots and everything. Organize everything that needs to come back to City Hall tonight so we can do the count, the voting machine, the flash drives, all the paperwork, stuff like that. All of that comes back tonight, and then I process the flash drives, and we have our results for the election.
Right. We'll be seeing some of it when the ballots start arriving here. But I noticed they come in, they go to a table that's set up in the lobby. And what are they doing there?
So they just tracking who's brought all the stuff in, make sure they have the right materials that we need, and then they kind of triage it, send what we need in the office to us. A lot of the other stuff either goes into the attic where we store the machines or into the vault where we put the ballots so everything is secure at the end of the night.
I know you're not big on making predictions, right, about turnout and stuff?
I think obviously to be a better turnout than preliminary. What that turns out to be, again, like you said, no mayor on there, no ballot questions or anything. So a little bit over 10% probably.
Okay. At the primary we had, I believe it was 5.7%, so 6% voted turnout.
Yes, right? Yes. And I think, a lot of that too is the law has changed. So people are registered, it's mandatory. So the registration numbers are going to be inflated. They're going to be up a little higher. Registrations don't vote. So if you're looking at turnout, it's going to look like, turnout percentage is a little less. I think we got to start looking at that number in a different way and look at the total voters that come out. I think with those inflated numbers, it makes it kind of hard to be as accurate as it once was.
What do you think? Numbers around 9:15 usually, right?
Again, I don't like the poll workers rushing to make sure they get it in. So you'll see things start trickling in about 9:15, 9:30. Hopefully everything's all set by 10. Again, it's not a race. We want to make sure they're doing things the right way. We have 28 locations, 36 precincts. So, it does take a little time.
Yeah, you mentioned that, I think the last time we were here a month ago, you mentioned how some of these precincts, they have a ways to go to travel from the far north end or the far south end to get here to City Hall.
Yeah, and at the end of the night, it's not just, you pull out the flash drive and send it back. They're taking their counts, they're filling out the paperwork, things have to be sorted, it has to be organized. And again, because the election doesn't end at 8 p.m., we have to come in and we have our part in processing and stuff like that. So again, it takes some time. And like you said, it's coming from far north, south. So it's coming from all different places. So again, it's not a rush. We'd rather be accurate than, timely. Believe me, I've been here since 4. I want to go home too to my family, but we'd rather, be here and make sure things go smoothly.
And what does your office do, or what? I mean, you don't just work every 2 years, right? What do you do after tonight?
It's just every day. I mean, we right now we're going to wrap up this election, hopefully within the next couple of days, finalize everything. My staff is going through petition papers. And so there's people getting signatures out at, supermarkets, everywhere. You see them everywhere. That stuff comes to my office. You're talking about thousands of signatures. So they jump right on that afterwards. Then it's budget season. Then we're already planning for next year. Right. So, I mean, there's really not a break at all.
All right. Well, we will see you. We'll hear from you in about an hour or so from your office down the hall. And we'll look forward to a good night.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Manny.
Manny DeBrito, the election commissioner here in New Bedford. And we do have a couple of interesting races to look at. And in fact, we're going to have a guest join us here because one thing that we know for certain is there will be a new counselor at large.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So my good friend Linda Morad has chosen to leave the council and not run for re-election. And so she is here with us tonight so we can say goodbye to her properly.
Oh, no. I still have a few more, month and a half more to go. I'm still around till January 6th. But thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. And thank you for doing the coverage tonight to Cable Access and to Manny DeBrito, to his team, and all the poll workers that are out there. It's a long day for them. And I'm just, no matter what anybody says, for all the work that they do today, there's very little issue. And they just do a great job over and over and over. So good for them, and thank them for that.
I have to ask, what led to your decision to wrap it up this year?
Well, I think 20 years is enough, Pete. I've given 20 years of my life and my family's life to the city of New Bedford, and it's time for somebody else to pick up and try something different. I've enjoyed my job very much. I feel rewarded by some of the things I've been able to do to assist people. I like the challenge of the job of the city council, and I like the opportunities that it's given me. I've experienced so many things that, Jane will know as well, you don't experience as a private citizen. But, I'm 71, and it's time for me to sit back and relax and enjoy myself. I don't know that this is forever, ever over. You never know. Right. I never say never. But for now, I'm looking forward to being a private citizen.
What'd you say you found out today? Some statistics?
So I was going to say, I just checked your stats, So.
You checked my stats?
Yeah, so
your batting average is...
Council Morad first got elected in 2003 as the Ward 1 councilor. Yep. And then she was the Ward 1 councilor for 8 years and ran for mayor in 2011.
I did.
And so she had to leave the council in order to run. And so she was only gone for 2 years, then she came back in 2013. And this is what shocked me. So you as you said, you've done 20 years. You have been the council president 4 times, and somehow I missed that. Yep. So I only did it twice, and it was a lot. Wow. I like to tell people it's kind of like having a baby. Not that I've ever had one, but you know how they say, it's so much pain and everything, and then after a while you forget, and the baby's so cute, and then you want to do it again. And being the city council president is exactly like that. Yep. Right.
And I did it back to back one term too. Yeah. And
that's rare, isn't it?
What's really funny about that is my first vote on the city council. My first vote was to confirm John Saunders for a second consecutive term as council president, and I couldn't do it. And not only did I not do it, but I stood up on the floor on my first night on the council floor and I spoke against it. And there's a tradition on the council that in your maiden speech, everyone else applauds you. So the rest of my colleagues had to stand up and clap for me when I was speaking against John. He never forgave me for that. But when I decided to do a back-to-back presidency, I did call John to say, "You're not going to believe what I'm about to do," and he's a good sport about it. But yep, four times.
And I just wanted to add, not only were you the president 4 times, but you are the 5th woman to be council president in New Bedford, I think
that's right.
Because I think I'm the 4th,
You were
right?
4th,
So
yeah.
think about that. So now I haven't been there for 12 years, and I was there 20. So in the last 20-something years, it's only been 2 women that have served as council president.
Yep.
Sorry, there's a third. Naomi was council president.
Right.
And the others before you were not at-larges. I think I'm the first, because all
right.
my council presidencies were as an at-large councilor. So, yeah, I think I'm the first at-large councilor to serve as president.
So Pete
Big deal,
already
huh?
asked, well, it kind of is cool. I think it's cool. Pete asked you what your accomplishments were, but is there something that really sticks out to you, like that you would remember, like what an opportunity that you had to do something or see something or meet somebody?
What sticks out in my mind is yesterday I called a woman who I met when I was a Ward 1 counselor. She turned 102 yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And I picked up the phone and I called her to wish her happy birthday. And those are the moments that I'm not going to miss those because I'm going to continue to do that with people that have been special to me. But that's what I really feel about the city council role, to be able to connect with so many people in the community and to have those kinds of relationships. It's been fun. And, my niece and my nephew, and my great niece and my great nephew, they've been part of this forever. And, to think that I might have been able to instill some kind of civic duty into each one of them and, foster their love for the city. I get a lot of reward out of that.
That's
and
good.
it's not just them. There's been a lot of, as you know, Councilor Gonsalves, there's been a lot of young people involved in the MORAD campaigns over the years. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think contributes to that? You've been able to bring the young people in, and also, your service to those that are 102, or as I told you, my cousin who's soon to be 89.
Yep.
Is that just you? You can relate to both sides?
I don't know. We run a different campaign. We have a lot of fun, and it's about them. And I listen to their suggestions, and I take them and incorporate them. And I think people like that. They like to know that their voice is heard, and when it's possible, they're the star of the show. And we try to do that a lot. And having young people around me, Victoria and Zachary, and a lot of their friends, just helped to foster that relationship with many others. So, yep.
What are you planning to do come mid-January?
January 7th. Well, January 6th at 7 o'clock, I'll be done. But I'm looking forward to having my weekends and my evenings back. And
You can relate?
yeah,
Oh,
she can
yes,
relate.
yes,
Yeah. A lot of people, yes, there are a lot of meetings, but people don't also realize how much time we give as well. There's lots of events. Last week I attended 3 different events representing the council. I have an event to attend tomorrow night to represent the council. There's a lot of that goes on that people don't realize that. But I love that because this is my city and I enjoy representing the city whenever I can, wherever I can. It's just been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. And it's a lot of work, too. I pride myself on coming to the meetings and coming to the table educated about the issues, having read the paperwork that's been sent to me, and all that takes a lot of time. So looking forward to having my time now. So
We have some new candidates running for office tonight. Do you remember your first campaign and
oh, yeah.
what are they going through tonight?
Well, I don't know, but I know that the first time I got elected to the Ward 1 Council, I was so excited that night, and the next morning I woke up and said, oh,
What have I done?
what have I done? Because there is no book. Councilor Gonsalves can tell you this. There's nobody that's going to tell you how it works. We have some great people that work in the council office, our city clerk and our attorney. They're wonderful. I had some folks on the council that helped to mentor me. I've tried to pay that forward for all the new councilors that come forward, but there's a lot to learn. And as each one of the people that is new to running for the position has entered the race, I've picked up the phone and said, I really want to tell you what you're getting into. I'm trying not to discourage you, but the last thing we want is someone to get elected, spend a couple months and say, this isn't for me. I mean, we don't want to do that. We want people to be successful in the role they choose. So they have a large learning curve. I'm going to hit the ground running. Shortly after they're elected, they'll have the annual capital improvement plan in front of them to discuss. They'll be in the middle of the budget session. There'll be a lot going on for them very quickly. So I'll be as helpful as I can to anybody who wants the assistance. And after that, they'll do a great job.
I've always felt that we have a responsibility. Having been an elected official, we have a responsibility to the community to pass on the knowledge that we've gained over the years and pass it on to the new people. So I do that too.
I know you do that.
Yeah.
People have told me you do that. You've mentored several people in their candidacy. And I stayed out of the at-large race this year because I have incumbent colleagues that are running for positions, so I've stayed out of that. But whoever takes my seat and whoever is new, if there are any new people in the ward races, I'll do what I always did, pick up the phone, call them, and see how I might be able to help them. So,
Do you have any final thoughts or words you'd like to say to your constituents?
I appreciate the opportunity that they gave me. I can speak directly to them. I appreciate the opportunity you gave me over the many years. You put your trust in me, and I appreciate that. I hope you felt I was worthy of your vote, and I respect all of you, and I thank you for the opportunity. It's been a great ride, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be a city resident forever. The only difference now is I'm going to be screaming at the council from the outside about my tax bill instead of from the inside. But thank you both. I appreciate it. I'll look forward to the results tonight. And I thank you for inviting me. I was very hesitant to come tonight, but I do appreciate you having
I'm so
me.
glad you came.
Me too.
Good.
And thank you for your service to the city of New Bedford.
Thank you, Council Gonsalves. I appreciate it. And our friendship. We talk on a regular basis, and we attend functions, and every once in a while we have lunch together. So, and she actually told me she'd travel with me. Isn't that cool?
Oh, wow. There you go. Have a great night.
Nice to see you, Peter. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
Jane.
you.
Yep.
That's one of the things, we hear sometimes from people who, are upset at decisions that are made or, why do you vote this way or whatever. But I think that anybody who makes the commitment to run for that office and then to do it for 20 years, I think that needs to be
recognized. And I think things are so much worse than when I left. People are very negative. A lot of people are disenfranchised. They really don't know anything about it. They don't vote. They don't pay attention. They only read their social media, and then they criticize. And they're vicious. Some people are just vicious. And it's a lot worse than it was. And, you don't get combat pay. It's not, there's no, I don't know. It's too bad there's a lack of civility, really. You have to understand that people are doing things for the good of the city. Everybody does this because they want to help the city. You have to, because it can't be any other reason, because you certainly don't want to be giving up all those hours, and for nothing. You want to be moving the city forward. So people are trying their best to do the right thing. And it's too bad that people get so critical about it. But.
We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we have a number of things to talk about tonight. The polls closed at 8 o'clock, and we expect results and numbers to come in by, say, 9:15 or so. But we have a number of things to discuss between now and then. One of them is the fact that in the preliminary election, one of the incumbents, Naomi Carney, actually came in, was it 7th that she came in? So I'd like your thoughts about what does she have to do to jump back into the top 5. Jack Spillane from New Bedford Light also wrote a piece recently about plunking, something that I had never heard of. You're familiar with it, so we'll get into that as to what that is and the aspect of that. And also, sorry about that. And also some a question about the fact that there is no mayor's race tonight. The mayor now has a 4-year term. How does that affect the people that are running for office today? Because we don't have that draw for a mayor's race. So We'll get into those topics and more. A short break here as we come to you live from New Bedford City Hall. It's election night coverage on New Bedford Cable Network.
Did you know that you can watch any of New Bedford Cable Network shows anytime, anywhere on all of your mobile devices? How, you may ask? Just log on to nbcablenetwork.com and bam! You have all 3 channels at your fingertips: public, educational, and government access. Here, you can view our program schedules, watch our channel's live broadcasts, or search for a particular program in our vast library of shows. Last year alone, New Bedford Cable Network produced over 500 shows, and nearly all of them are available online at nbcablenetwork.com. Not only can you stay up to date with what's happening in your local government and schools, but also dive into some of New Bedford Cable Network's original award-winning programs. So check us out at nbcablenetwork.com.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How is it? Is it good?
Good evening and welcome back to our live election coverage on New Bedford Cable Network. Pete Braley and former Councilor Jane Gonsalves. We are in the Charles S. Ashley Public Meeting Room, which is on the first floor of City Hall. Used to be just outside the old mayor's office,
Yeah,
right?
this is part of the mayor's office, yeah.
Right, before that moved up to the, what, third floor?
Third
now?
floor,
Third
right.
floor,
Under
yeah.
Mayor Lang, yep.
Yep. I mentioned earlier tonight, we're awaiting the election results. The polls closed at 8 o'clock, and they'll start making their way here. Oh, okay,
Here we
here we
go.
go. We have some ballots arriving. And as Manny DeBrito mentioned, the election commissioner, those ballots come in, they are checked in, then the flash drive gets sent to his office. You can see they go through the different totes that come in, and then we have Councilor Shane Burgo arriving here, and we'll be talking to as many candidates as we can throughout the night. So they come in, they check in, you'll see people there verifying them, and then they go to Manny's office, and we don't get numbers until he's got the whole thing to release to us, so that comes up sometime after 9 o'clock. Jack Spillane of New Bedford Light recently wrote The Great New Bedford Election Plunking Controversy. And I've been following these elections for years, been involved in a few. I'm not familiar with plunking, so you are though, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So plunking is the process by which you don't use all of your 5 votes on the at-large candidates. And you say, ideally, you vote for Paul Santos, people. My cousin just waved at us. He's going to go do his own show out in the hall. So plunking is when you vote for one person, presumably to give them a boost because you're not using 4 votes.
Okay.
So the other candidates aren't getting those 4 votes.
All right.
And I don't know, I mean, there's no way to quantify how it's working as far as whether it really does make a difference in an election. But it is an old trend. I mean, in New Bedford, it's been done for a long time.
Right. Jack also pointed out that sometimes on the ballot, it'll say vote for 5, or it'll say vote for not more than 5. I look at that and think, what's the difference? But there is a difference, right?
I think if you write, I think when the language says vote for 5, it suggests that it's required. I think people could be confused by that. I never really liked it. I think it should say vote for up to 5. That's my opinion. But, so.
Well, we'll see if that is an issue tonight. Again, there are 10 names on the council at large ballot. There's only 5 openings, but Linda Morad is retiring at the end of her term. So we will see someone new in that.
There'll definitely be one
case.
new at-large councilor, at least, yes.
Right. The other thing I wanted to ask you about was the fact that we have no mayor's race tonight. The mayor now has a 4-year term. And you feel that does have an impact, right? On the
I do.
We see lower turnouts.
I think Manny made a good point about the fact, which I always forget, that now that registration is mandatory and automatically happens when you renew your license.
Yes.
So that the actual base number of people that are voters is much larger than it was. And so that if you use that number, it looks like there's a downward trend in turnout. So maybe not all of the downward trend, as it were, is really real, is really because of disenfranchisement. Maybe some of it is due just to math, because there's more people that are actually voters because of the automatic registration. But having said that, I still think that the idea to give them, I mean, I understand the reasoning for having a 4-year term. Certainly when the councils will tell you, when you have a 2-year term and people get upset, it's easy to get bounced out on 1 or 2 things, based on 1 or 2 issues, right? Or projects that don't work, or something that, the public doesn't agree with, even though it is for the better for the city. I mean, those things can have an effect on an election when it's every other year. So 4 years, it gives the mayor time to build projects, to build designs for things, to have a more cohesive plan for the city.
Before he or she would have to turn around and run again.
Right.
Right.
On the other hand, though, I feel it causes an imbalance in the power between the council and the mayor's office. And the fact that the turnout has been so low this year makes me wonder if that's part of that. People have no interest in coming to vote just for the council, which is really a sad state of affairs.
Right.
But I mean, that seems to be the case with a 5% turnout in a primary.
I think it was 5.7%. Any? We haven't talked about this, but any prediction tonight? It's always higher.
I think it's
it?
going to be twice what it was, based
Okay.
on what number I was when I voted today. That's my guess, but
Right.
so I think it's going to be around 10%.
Okay. Joining us right now, hello there,
Hello, how are you guys?
Councilor Ryan Pereira from Ward 6, and how do you feel tonight? It's unopposed.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely grateful to be unopposed and keep on working hard, and ran for office as if I had an opponent. We were out there today holding signs at my polling locations in the South End, and just whether it's reassurance to my constituents that I'm grateful for their support and their continued support, and thankful to continue to earn it even though I don't have an opponent. I think that's important.
Are you here tonight maybe to give those that are trying for the first time a pat on the back and stay in there?
It's always exciting election night. I remember 4 years ago on the first midterm, as you guys were talking about the 4-year mayoral term, I was elected on the first midterm, and it was it's fun that that victory night. So I'm here to congratulate all those who ran. Running for public office is a tough thing, regardless if you win or lose. It's you're putting yourself out there, you're opening yourself up to criticisms that occurs whether you win or lose, and you put in a lot of work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for an unknown result. But you hope your hard work will pay off.
Right.
So this is your first re-election then?
Second re-election.
Second re-election, okay.
Yeah. Yep, second re-election.
Tell me about that first midterm election. Was it you were new as far as running for office, but I'm sure you had people around you that what did they tell you? Did they tell you that this is a whole new ball game?
Yeah,
what
I
was
think
the feeling?
we were able to. I think the strategy going in was expecting a lower turnout with less buzz surrounding an election that would have a mayoral race.
Right.
It's to get your people to the polls, get your supporters, encourage them to vote, keep reminding them to vote up until the election. And I think those who channel their energy and getting their supporters to vote really are the ones who edge it out.
I see. So again, you have you're unopposed going into this race, and be honest with me. When you first discovered you were unopposed, was there a little yes?
Yeah, it's always good. It's
Maybe
always,
a little.
yeah,
Okay.
both. There's always when I pulled nomination papers, it was to run for office and win, right? And when nomination papers were submitted and there was no one else there, it was a victory, right? That's you're essentially until it's official, it's not official, but essentially reelected. And yeah, it is a sigh of relief because there's a little bit of a little ease that you can get into. But I will also say that sometimes running unopposed, running against yourself is always tough too.
Okay.
Whether it's a lack of an opponent to focus on or debate with, sometimes it's you're only going up against yourself, or you host like town halls or something like that, and it's difficult sometimes to.
I just saw on our screen that 6E and 6F have now been stacked up, and there you go, going into the elevator.
Yeah, I felt like voter turnout was off to a good start down the South End. I would hope that would have continued. Last counts at Hazelwood were a little lower than I would have expected to see, but still going to be greater than the preliminaries.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ryan, enjoy the night. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Nice to see you, Ryan.
Ryan Pereira, running unopposed in Ward 6. So yeah, we as far as the ward races, let me recap there what we have. We have Ward 1. We do have a contested race between Leo Chiquette and Matthew Marco. In Ward 2, we have Maria Giesta. She is being opposed by Scott Pemberton. Ward 3, that's unopposed. That is Councillor Sean Oliver. And Ward 4, unopposed, that's Derek Baptiste. Ward 5, there is a race between Joe Lopes and Renee Fernandez. And Ward 6 is Councillor Ryan Pereira, who we just told you about moments ago. Joining us right now is one of the at-large councillors who came in second, I believe, in the primary in the voting. and that is Shane Virgo. Shane, hello, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Very
And
energized.
Shane is also the council president.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
right. Sorry.
So they tell me, yeah.
Which we talked about. Linda Morad came by.
Oh, wonderful.
So we had a chance to talk to Linda, and Jane did a little research, and she was city council president 4 times. So
God bless you.
Not me. Linda was.
Linda was. Oh, okay.
you were
Like,
twice?
Twice. I was
Twice,
council
yes.
twice, yeah.
Wait, before we get into your thoughts about today, what was that like, taking that step and becoming the city council president? It's a whole added weight, right, to your shoulders?
Certainly.
Yeah.
That's why I was jokingly saying God bless. Yeah, it's definitely something you can't take lightly. I think this year in particular, the council presidency race was way too inflated for certain people that made it into something that it's not. And obviously, as we come to the end of my presidency, we saw that all the things that people made it out to be obviously were not true. I'm very proud of the work so far. There's still obviously a few months left of this term. We have a lot of work left to do, but I'm proud of the work that we've accomplished this past year. And I think that one of the main reasons why I decided to run for the council presidency is it's important for who's in that role to help guide and lead. Not necessarily individual councils, we're all leaders within ourselves, but essentially the council president acts almost as the face of the council to the public. So when we're trying to speak with the administration as a conduit between the council and the administration, as we know, has been a bit strained, trying to articulate those messages. I think that's why it's been so important, especially for me, to be in this role, to make sure that our message is sound and clear and logical, especially when we have, in some cases, an administration that tends to paint us as illogical and idiotic, which is not the case.
Yeah. What has your day been like? How do you feel as we await numbers?
I am glad to be inside now. It actually was a beautiful day out. It was just very windy, which is funny because I sweat a lot. As you see, I'm starting to get warm in here, but my feet are finally getting back to, they're finally thawing out. But the energy was just amazing out there. Yeah, you jump around, especially as an at-large counselor. You have 36 precincts now. I'm sure you remember back in your days, there was 52 or 50 some odd precincts previously. It's condensed over time, and even most of those 36 precincts, some are double precincts. So we have it a lot easier than it has been in the past, but we're so thankful for our different volunteers that come out, and even amongst the candidates, there's so much camaraderie where people come out, they offer coffee, hot chocolate, donuts, pizza, just everyone sharing. And it basically becomes like, this is the final stretch. It's done. You've done all you can. You've knocked on all the doors you can. This is it. People are going to come vote however they vote. And what I really like is the partnerships you see. At the end of the day is not everyone's going to win, which is obviously unfortunate, but at the end of the day, we all have the shared goal of wanting to work to move New Bedford forward. And that's what you see on election night and on election day. And that's the energy that kind of fuels you throughout the day, is getting to meet with the candidates throughout the day and share in that kind of momentum of an excitement of, hey, no matter how this shakes out, we're all in this together.
Right. Excited that there will be a new counselor at large tonight. I mean, there's going to be a new one.
Yeah, certainly. I think there's obviously always the sentiment behind wanting new voices and new change. One of the things I talked about is there's always a great feeling as someone who was a new voice back in 2021. One of the things I remarked was, sometimes it's great to have new faces, but sometimes those new faces are some of the old talking points. So I think one of the things I've come to appreciate as someone who was a new voice back in 2021 coming on, I think of, again, we talked earlier about Linda Morad coming back and chatting with you. I'm sure you got some really great nuggets of information from her. I have been so appreciative of her knowledge and experience. I think one of her taglines when she was running was "Experience Matters." And so so although like one of the questions we get asked are about term limits, and I have been someone who talks about supporting term limits, and I do also appreciate the experience and wisdom and knowledge that comes with years of government work that people like Linda Morad, Brian Gomes, and past colleagues bring to this role. I wouldn't have picked up on a lot of the things that I have without their experience. So I want to take this opportunity to thank them. And I, as you bring up, yes, we'll definitely have at least one new counselor that will be replacing Linda Morad, who's stepped down. But oftentimes I always want to mention that because I feel as though the sentiment out there of anti-incumbents, it's lost on people. The amount of knowledge that you need to really have on this job, especially because it's a part-time job. And what I mean by that is the work is full-time. If you do the job right, and you can attest to this, Jane, if you do the job right, it is full-time. You're working 24/7. However, the job is part-time. You work a regular full-time job to pay your bills, but then you come back at 7 p.m. to work a council night. Sometimes you're here till 11 p.m. or who knows when, and you're doing the work of a full-time employee, but with part-time resources. We all share the same staff. We all share the same hours, and that's the challenge, and that's why we really need to lean on each other, all 11 of us, to work together, again, to help move New Bedford forward. So I'm very appreciative of that work that us incumbents currently are doing to work together. But yes, it will be nice to also have a fresh new face to come in to also share in that experience.
All right.
And thanks for bringing that up, because I feel kind of bad we didn't mention it while Linda was here, that Linda's knowledge of the budget and understanding of how the budget works and how it's put together was impressive. And with her gone, someone's going to need to step up and develop all that institutional knowledge. You know, there won't be anybody there to get to explain that, you know, at first. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because that's what you worry about when an incumbent leaves. At least I do. When a long-term incumbent leaves, is who's going to replace them as far as the institutional knowledge.
Well, and again, not that I want to keep harping on the idea of us versus the administration, but oftentimes the administration preys on the inexperience of counselors. And so when they try to sneak through things, I remember one of my first years after we approved the budget, and you know that during this time frame, right before we set the tax rate, you try to add appropriations, or even afterwards the following year when we're doing transfers around. There are different, for a lack of better term, schemes that the administration will try to maneuver around to add funds back that the council has cut. And I remember I fell prey to it. And it was Linda, who has an amazing financial background, that was like, hold on now, remember this is what we cut from X, Y, and Z. And so it's like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't realize that because it was painted this way. So just to piggyback on that point, this is why it's so important to really gain that knowledge. And again, I'm so thankful to people like Linda to have passed that on and be able to retain that for the future.
All right. Well, Shane, good luck tonight.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll talk maybe later after the numbers.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
City Councilor at Large Shane Burgo, who came in second in the primary. Ian Abreu was the top vote getter with 2,299 votes. Then Shane Burgo, Brian Gomes. Then three newcomers actually. Devin Burns, fourth, James Roy, fifth, and Jennifer Arruda, sixth. And then Naomi Carney was seventh. So we'll come back. We'll take a short break and come back. And I want to get your thoughts about, was that a wake-up call for Naomi Carney? What does she have to do to get back in the top 5? We can talk about that when we come right back with more from City Hall in New Bedford. This is Election Night coverage live on New Bedford Cable Network.
Channel 95 was running old classic movies. Now, there's two reasons to watch this. One, they got Moxie. Two, I told you so.
Listen to Clyde and watch classic movies on Channel 95. A new double feature premiere every Saturday night at 9.
Back at City Hall with live coverage of the election for 2025. We await numbers. Pete Braley along with Jane Gonsalves. We have been talking about the councilor at large race and also the different wards, but let us not forget a school committee race.
School committee?
As we had, two candidates, two incumbents that decided
That's
not
correct.
to run. So joining us now is one of the challengers, and that is Rick Porter, who is a candidate for school committee. Nice to see you. I know we're friends on Facebook. Now I can actually put a live person.
There
to
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nice to see you, Pete. Nice to see you too, Jane.
You too.
You've been in education for how many years?
35 years. I just retired this past June. I was a teacher for 20 years, a union leader, and for the last several years, I was a school principal.
Okay. But you retire from that, but you get into this.
I do. It's
Why?
funny. My husband thought we were going to do some traveling, and I surprised him by saying, no, I'm going to run for school committee. So this is my second time running. I ran in 2017. We learned a lot from that experience, and I'm excited. Hopefully this will work out this time, and I'm looking forward to seeing what education is like on the other side of the table as a school committee person.
Okay.
And given my 35 years of experience, I feel like I can bring a lot to that discussion.
As an educator for those years, did you hear about rulings from school committees and say, oh, why are they doing that?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, as a school principal, I did have to work on occasion with members of the school committee in the district that I was part of. And I found the most successful relationships with school committee was when everyone knew their roles. I, as the principal, was the day-to-day manager of my building. The superintendent was the day-to-day manager, obviously, of the school district. And I feel like the school committee, one, obviously, they set policy, they evaluate the superintendent, they, set the budget. But they're probably best known as being advocates for the school and working with central offices saying, what can we do to promote New Bedford Public Schools and promote the vision that the individual school leaders have? So that's what I'd be looking forward to doing, is working with them and advocating for New Bedford Public Schools and New Bedford kids.
Running for school committee, is it different from the counselors, how they're out there with signs? Or I would assume there's a lot of similarities.
Oh, there's a lot of similarities. There really is. I mean, the things that are the same is that, obviously you have to get ready with your signatures to get on the ballot. You have to get out there and do your visibility with your sign holding. You have to do a fundraiser. But the experience that I have felt, and I know speaking to my fellow school committee candidates, we didn't really feel like competitors. We felt like we all had individual platforms and our own experiences that we were bringing to the table. But we also felt like we were learning from each other, and it was a very, very civil race. So we've enjoyed this. In fact, we were talking today, because today we kind of were all doing our own thing. We kind of missed each other today because we've been at all these events together doing this. So that has been a really great experience, is getting to know Melissa better and Vaughn Marie and Marcus.
Right. How important or what type of an impact did your first attempt at the school committee have on this segment? Was it a good learning experience for you?
It was an amazing experience. My husband, George, said that even though it didn't work out for us that time, no one can take away those few months in the experience that we had. And we learned a lot, and we built from that experience that we had 8 years ago. And hopefully, all that we learned will pay off tonight.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you, seeing both of you. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you, Rick. Good luck.
And we have another candidate, another school committee candidate who is with us right now. And we are going to meet Vaughn Marie Moniz, who is a candidate. Is this your first time running for office?
This is my first time, yes.
Okay. Have you leaned on Rick or others that have been through the process to help you along?
I have. So I was really fortunate to have a lot of mentorship from Colleen DeWicki, who's currently serving on there. She has been really helpful, along with Marlene Pollock. They have been really helpful. Learning from, just like Rick was saying, and this is often what we do in forums. We're like, talking about what one another said. So it's been really great to lean on our running mates as well.
Why did you decide to run?
So I'm a parent. I have 2 kids in the school system, both with special needs. They're both on the autism spectrum. So that's really a passion of mine. And up until recently, I had a great experience with special education. But, my daughter, who was getting ready to go into high school, the plans were changing way too much. And then something else changed with my son and his schooling. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? And I'm a pretty involved parent. So I really wanted to help others kind of through that process. My husband also, he's a paraeducator in the school system. So I see on a daily, some of the struggles that our teachers go through, our educators, our staff. And I lean very much on our kids' teachers, because they help us kind of raise them, really. They do a lot. Yeah. So it's really important to have that relationship. But I wanted to bring the parent voice and a Latina voice, because I would be the second Latina to be voted in.
This must bring you back to your first run for office, does it?
Sure. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic that they said they're kind of cooperating, all of them. So that's really interesting, because that's not
council doesn't
that's not
do
how
that.
the council races go.
Yeah.
So even the at-large councils, it's not. But so it's interesting to hear that, and I think it's kind of cool.
It's really, I think it is really cool. One of the things that I think of is this type of collaboration and camaraderie. This is really what should be showcased on a school committee, on any type of office. We're here to collaborate. We're not here to, be at odds with each other. It should be a collaboration for the greater good. So in this case, it's our kids, our future. So.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
All right, and hopefully you have good news in maybe 20 minutes or so.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll be sweating it outside.
Yeah, sweating it outside.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for coming in. 2 of the candidates for school committee tonight. As I mentioned, one of the questions I wanted to get to as we wait the number, you see the ballot boxes continue to come in here at City Hall, and again, the flash drives are taken to the election commissioner's office, and then we should have numbers about 9:15 or so being released to us. But going back to the council at large race, and I mentioned earlier that in the preliminary election, the incumbent Naomi Carney actually came in 7th in that race. She had 3 newcomers ahead of her. That was the primary where there was only a 6% voter turnout. So obviously we're expecting a higher turnout tonight. Did that surprise you at all, Naomi's placing?
Somewhat. I mean, usually the incumbents do very well, and ballot placement helps. The incumbents at the top of the ballot in
Right.
alphabetical order. Yeah, I thought she was in a tough spot, coming in when she did. So it'll be interesting to see whether she's able to overcome that deficit to get reelected. The fact that Scott Lima dropped out of the race, his votes have to go to someone, so it's possible that she might attract those votes. I don't know. So we'll see how that plays out. I think she made a good push in the last few days. I mean, she's done a lot of, I've gotten multiple texts from her campaign in the last few days, like I guess you call them robo-texts now. So she is doing that. She's put signage up. So interestingly enough, we have sitting here right now, Jenny Arruda, who actually got, let's see, I'm looking for my numbers here, 1,406 votes compared to Naomi's 1,403. So
I believe I was sixth.
You
Yes,
were,
you were sixth, yes.
So welcome, Jenny.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I think it's very exciting out there. There's lots of people here, and I'm just so happy that I've made it this far, that I made it through the preliminary, and I'm here tonight.
So did you look at that as the fact that you had just a few more votes than an incumbent received, and did you have to adjust or change your campaigning in any way since we saw you in October?
I think that I was, my campaign goal always was more about, obviously I want to get in, because why run if you don't want to get in? But also I really want to make a statement that we need to care more about our most vulnerable populations. And even if I lose, and I have called attention to the populations that need our love and our protection and need to be treated with a dignity and inherent worth as human beings and not just pushed aside and not thought about, then I will have accomplished what I came here to do. Do I want to win? Yes. Do I actually? I think that some people, because my degree is in art and my background is in small business, so I think some people, when I was getting my nomination papers, were kind of questioning, what does an artist and a small business owner, why would they be getting involved in politics? I've actually always had an interest in politics. I was on the law team as the youngest person in my high school on the law team. I started a debate team. It just happened that I really loved art too. And, you don't generally do politics and art at the same time. So I chose one. And, but I think right now also what pushes me forward, our federal government is in a terrible hot mess right now. And we need to, really firm up our local governments to protect the people that are being affected very negatively by everything that's going on in the federal government. And so I felt a strong call to do what I can to help those people. I mean, we've got the situation with the SNAP benefits happening. We've got the situation where, our president makes it okay and acceptable to treat unhoused folks without respect that they deserve as human beings. And so I kind of figured no, I can't do anything on the big scale of government, but if I was able to get into city council and use my position and platform and influence to try to change the narrative and come back to we need to care about every resident of New Bedford, not just the homeowners, not just the people that we deem worthy, that now is the time to do it.
All right. Well, best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
Okay. And that is Jennifer Arruda, one of the challengers. She came in 6th in the primary and hoping to get into one of the top 5 spots tonight.
Hopefully, right?
All right. Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay. We are coming up on, it is 9 o'clock, so we should be receiving some numbers from Manny DeBrito in just a few minutes. And we will have a camera in his office, which is just down around the corner, and he'll be announcing the numbers, and we'll write them down as fast as we can, and we'll there you have a view of his office. So we are all set up there, and just awaiting. You've
I don't know if
seen
there's anybody in the office because they're all out in the hall right now.
it's kind of loud out in that
It's
hallway,
loud out
isn't
in
it?
that hallway, yeah.
All right, so joining us
party.
right now is another one of our candidates, Marcus Coward, who is also running for school committee.
Yes, sir.
And good evening. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So is this your first venture into politics?
Yes, this is my first venture. It's been a great experience. I've learned a lot, and I had a lot of fun too.
Yeah, that's good. What motivated you to jump into the school committee race?
So I'm from New Bedford, and so I want to better my city. I want to better my people. I want to represent my city, but also young people like me to try and get more involved in politics, where we should be getting more informed, we should be voting more, and we should be running for more local offices or state or federal offices. So I want to try and lead by example and really show people my age that things like this are possible. So that was one of the reasons for why I wanted to run. But especially for school committee, I'm 26. So I can really relate to what students are going through right now. I was recently a student myself.
Okay.
And so I think that I have a lot of ideas that can help address what young students are going through right now. And with a lot of their mental health concerns, especially after COVID, I think I can really relate to what they're going through and come up with good ideas and bring a fresh perspective to the school committee about what young people are going through.
Can I jump in? I have a question about that. So you just rang a bell for me. So do you think the school systems are doing an adequate job with addressing the changes in people's mental health since the pandemic?
So I think they are doing an adequate job, and adequate meaning that we're getting by, but I think that there's so many things that we can improve on. And so until I see for myself what improvements the school committee has done and what they have in place to do, that I can't really say for sure where there's shortcomings and where we're actually meeting the mark. Because I know in so many ways we're trying our hardest and actually meeting the mark in a lot of areas. But when it comes to student mental health, which is a priority for me, student safety, meaning bullying or, God forbid, school shootings, along with student mental health and teacher mental health, that the burnout is super real for these teachers.
Absolutely.
Along with trying to create a comfortable learning environment for the students is a top priority. And so I think that we're doing a great job, but there's always some way we can improve.
Right. We talked recently about how can we get more young people involved in politics?
Yeah.
Don't have to say that to you, but what do you sense from your friends? Were they surprised that you were getting into politics, or do they see that as, yeah, that is something we should do? Because we sit here and we think it's an older person's club, it seems to be. Any thoughts on that?
Yes. So I think there's two parts to that. One, I think that a lot of young people don't see the system as working for them right now.
Okay.
I think a lot of young people don't think that their voice or their vote matters, and that no matter what they do, that whoever they want isn't going to win, or even if they do, that they're not going to implement what they said they were going to do in their agenda. And so I feel like a lot of young people feel hopeless and powerless. So there's that. There's this kind of distrust towards politics in general.
Right.
But when it comes to local politics, I feel like a lot of people don't get involved, and also have gotten involved with me based off of if they know the person. Young people my age don't really know the older people running for politics. Either for whatever reason, those paths haven't crossed.
Right.
And so if you don't know the person, you're not going to vote for the person. And you're not going to get interested in the politics and the policies, even if they affect you. And so one way I'm trying to get young people involved is to try and become, I don't like the term celebrity, but become someone they can know by working in the community, being a positive, cool role model. But I try to be out in the community with my jobs or just in volunteering. I have a YouTube channel where I create positive news about New Bedford called Wake Up New Bedford, which I make kid friendly because I know that young people are watching it. So yes, how we can get other young people involved. So I know a lot of young people who said, I don't really vote, but because I know you, Marcus, I'm going to go out and vote.
Okay.
So hopefully if we can get other young people involved who know other young people in the city, it can really have a ripple effect, and young people can attract other young people.
Right.
So hopefully I can lead by example and be a young person who attracts other young people and really see a surge of youth energy in the city when it comes to civic engagement and being informed politically.
I don't know if you've noticed, it's gotten surprisingly quiet behind you.
Yeah.
I did.
I think everyone in the hall has moved down to the election office.
Because they're going to start reading the numbers.
Yeah, we saw a view of the election office, so that's where the numbers will be announced. So,
exciting.
Yeah, there they are gathered outside. So I don't know if you want to head down there, but best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
It's great that you're getting involved.
Thank you.
All right.
So this has been a lot of fun. Have a great night, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming in.
Of course.
Good luck, Marcus.
Marcus Coward, who is running for school committee. There are 4 people on the ballot for school committee, and there is one incumbent, and that is Melissa Costa.
She was out there. I don't know if she still is, but she was out in the hall too.
She is opposed by Marcus Coward. Actually, I shouldn't say opposed because there will be 3.
Right.
Marcus Coward.
There are 4 people for 3 seats, right?
Right. Vaughn Marie Moniz and also Richard Porter. Just after 9 o'clock here on election night in New Bedford, so we should be having results from Manny DeBrito in the election commissioner's office in just a few minutes. What he will do, if you're new to viewing this, is he will try to settle down the crowd that gathers there in the room, and he will announce the numbers. And he goes by the ballot, right? It's not so much who comes in first.
Right.
He's
the
reading
numbers that people got. Yeah.
Yeah. So we should be
The
getting
totals,
those. Yeah, any minute, and then we'll see who wants to stop by our setup here in the Charles Ashley room to maybe comment on the night and the election. I think it always seems that you have a better turnout for the general election than the primary.
Right.
I hear from people at times that when the primary comes around, they think, oh, I'll just vote at the general election. I don't think they realize how important that primary is to some of those fringe candidates.
Right, because you actually choose who's going to be in the ballot, the next ballot, based on what you do in the primary.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and again, we're always hearing about voter turnout, how it's so low. What did I read? There was only just over 4,000 people that voted in that made up that 5.7% in October. So, is there a discussion that goes on with your former colleagues as to how can we get more people interested in turning out to vote?
I mean, I think it's an issue that comes up with the elections, and it kind of doesn't get past that point, it seems like. But
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the reasons are. I mean, the reasons people don't vote could be as varied as the number of people, I guess, you know, and I think that's part of the problem. I suspect, like Marcus just said, right, there's a lot of disenfranchisement amongst the younger generation that don't see themselves as part of the process, don't see themselves as being listened to. And so I think that's, you know, maybe what keeps them from voting. Other people, I don't know. I guess, I mean, in the way things are in the country right now, I mean, I guess a lot of people are feeling disenfranchised and, you know, and concerned about government and not happy with government. So
it's a shame that we seem to have so much more interest and turnout maybe for a presidential election. And I've always felt that your local election, your vote means more.
Sure does.
Doesn't it? When you vote for your counselor or your selectmen in the area towns.
I remember being on the council and one of the ward councilors lost by 2 votes. You know, and then another time somebody lost by like 10 or 12. I mean, it's close. In a local election, the numbers are not that big. So it can be the couple of votes that change the outcome.
What is election day like for a candidate?
God, waking up on election day is the best thing. Shane touched on it. because when you have this huge, this supersized to-do list, right? That you've got this big attack plan that you've got spread over 6 months or whatever of all the things you're going to do, when you're going to do them, who's going to do them, where you're going to do them, how much it's going to cost, and that's a whole nother list is raising money. And then on election day, it's too late. You can't do anything now. So, well, there's one thing you can do, and that's get out the vote by making phone calls.
Okay.
And holding signs at the polls. But other than that, you don't have to do anything. So election day is always a big relief.
Oh, big sigh of relief.
Because your to-do list is completed or it's not.
You've done it all,
but you've done what you can't do anymore. There's
Right.
nothing. Like I said, the only thing left to do is maybe make phone calls and make sure that your base gets out to the polls.
And when we come back from our break, we're going to take another short break. And one thing I don't think you and I have talked about much is the importance of raising funds, because this costs money, right? No matter how you look at it, there's money involved, and that's probably a whole different subject of things to talk about as to how they go about raising money. So we'll talk about that when we come back from a short break. And again, we are just awaiting the results from the Election Commissioner's office. As you can see there, that office will fill up with a number of people, and press included, looking for results, but the candidates also. So we'll come back and hopefully have numbers for you soon from our live election coverage here at New Bedford City Hall on New Bedford Cable Network.
All right, folks, Channel 95 is running old classic movies. Now, there's 2 reasons to watch this. 1, they got Moxie. 2, I told you so.
Listen to Clyde and watch classic movies on Channel 95. A new double feature premiere every Saturday night at 9.
We're back live at New Bedford City Hall as we await the results for the election on this November 4th, 2025. Pete Braley, along with former City Councilor Jane Gonsalves. I mentioned before the break the importance of raising money for these elections. It's a fact of life, right? You got to have money to run.
Sure. So yeah, what happens is there's a whole bunch of rules that you have to follow. There's a Office of Campaign and Political Finance that you have to report to several times a year if you're having an active campaign year. And there are limits on how much you can take from individuals and that kind of thing. But yeah, the purpose of raising the money is in order to get your word out and get your name out. So signs are a big part of that, obviously, to get your name out there. And then there's advertising. It's probably changed quite a bit because I haven't run in a decade.
Back in the day, there were the large ads in the Standard Times, and then there was the radio advertising, which is still a thing, but I don't think it's anywhere as big as it used to be.
No, I think more and more people are advertising online, doing stuff on social media, that kind of thing. Yeah.
When do you have to, when you're running for office, what's the timeline like? I mean, when does somebody usually decide they want to run for office?
So the nomination papers come out in May, I think it is, and then they're due back in August. Okay. So that's the time you just probably decide. I mean, you'd have to be thinking about it beforehand probably, but that's the latest you could decide. And you'd also, if you're thinking about it, you'd probably be starting to raise money as well.
I was going to say, are you?
Yeah.
Are you campaigning, trying to get backers and funding?
Sure. Actually, it's kind of interesting to me who always ran for ward council that some of the at-large councilors who've been there a while really don't raise a lot of money and don't spend a lot of money because their main way of getting the word out is signage, and they have them. Once you buy them, you have them. So,
right.
So it's not a continuous expense. So, so that's kind of interesting. Some people have such good name recognition that they don't really need to do a lot of advertising.
Right. I would think some of the candidates have been like Brian Gomes, who's
that's
running for office.
Kind of who I'm thinking of, actually.
Yeah,
right
who's been in office for many years, and I'm sure has plenty of signs in his garage or basement or wherever when the election rolls
exactly.
around.
And then, of course, there's other things that don't cost money, like going door to door, which is a hugely important thing, especially in a ward race.
How important, in this society now where we're social media and we're texting, we're not calling, but it's still very important to knock on those doors, right?
I think it is. I think, I think the older generation, not necessarily the youth, but, anybody over 30, I think expects that they want to meet somebody and hear from them. And they like that you showed up at their door. People like that. They appreciate it. So
what do you come across when you knock on those doors?
It's not my favorite thing.
Okay. It wouldn't be mine either.
Yeah. So it's interesting because when you do it as a new candidate, you're making promises. You have no record to stand on. When you're an incumbent, you are standing on your record, and so generally, the people that talk to you the longest are the ones that have a complaint. So that happens a lot when you knock onto us, but. It's interesting because people say, "Well, I don't see you anywhere," and I'd be like, "Yeah, we're in meetings 4 nights a week." So.
Oh, good point. I know one of the things that comes up a lot in the candidate interviews that I've done over the years is people always pounding constituent services. What does that mean besides taking the phone calls and knocking on the doors?
Well. Constituent service is answering the phone when the person calls, right? I mean, I think people, I'm sure, are doing emails now more than calling, but responding to whatever the correspondence is, and fixing the problem. So, I mean, like
what if it's a problem you can't fix?
Well, that's a problem because that happens. People, and I have to say that this is an older person thing because young people won't know who he is, but George Rogers, who was a city council for a very long time, was I don't really know how he did it, but he got things done that were almost impossible to do. And he had such a strong reputation for constituent service. I think that everybody else had to live in his shadow as far as that was concerned. And people they just expect you to be able to fix everything. I mean, whatever it is, and it's not always possible. Even things that might seem straightforward, like, my street's a mess, like my street needs paving. Well, we know that. You know how we know that? Because the Department of Public Infrastructure does a survey every year and updates it every year to how bad the streets are, like what's the worst street. And that becomes number one on the list to get repaved, right, for the next construction season. And I'm assuming they still do it that way. That's the way they used to do it. And so things that maybe seem to the outside to be easy are not always easy to get done like that, because, there's a process. And sometimes people want things that are not within our authority to do. But by the same token, it's as Linda mentioned, right, Linda Morad, that it's really gratifying to be able to help people when they need help, and and to be able to do something for them.
How difficult is it for the council? We talk about the mayor's race and how it's now a 4-year term, but for the council, also, I mean, you raise funds, you run for office, you hopefully win in November, you take office in January. You have, a year before you have to think of running again?
Sure, yeah. A year and a half.
Yeah.
So
do you feel the pressure, like it's crunch time, that you have to get things done?
I think to some extent you do. And I mean, it behooves you to, for example, to have regular fundraisers scheduled, so that you have at least one fundraiser, even when it's not an election year, and that you do things like stay in touch and, go to community events and be out in the community to stay in touch with your constituency. So
I think we can see Manny DeBrito in his office. Is that Manny? I think it is.
Yeah.
We're just moments away from having the final numbers for you. I had said 9:15. It's now 9:23. Oh, that's the luck I have with Powerball too. So. Right. But they are gathering in the office, the election office, which is down the hall, around the corner here at City Hall. And what happens is Manny will come out. He will announce the numbers going by the ballot. So it's not, again, I must stress, you're not going to hear first place, second place, third place in these races. You're going to hear results as to how the names appear on the ballot. He gives a copy of the results to the candidates first, and then the press. So we will hear him or a member of his office read off those results, and then we'll be given a hard copy, which we can talk about and analyze a little bit. And our plan for tonight, by the way, is if there are candidates, if we have the winners that are here, they're welcome to stop by the Ashley Room. We do have a couple of people out there in the hallway that will be ushering them this way. And we'll have a chance to maybe talk to some of the winners before they go off. A lot of them have their own events planned, right, tonight?
Right.
There would be either a party or a reception at different places.
Sure. I think a lot of people do it at their homes now.
Do they?
It seems like a lot of people do it at their homes, yeah. But yeah, they get together to watch the results.
How late does tonight go for a winning candidate?
Not that, it's funny when I look back and I think back on it, and everybody's so tired because you've started so early in the day and been running all day.
What, 7?
Yeah. And you've been out on the road all day, so I think most people want to go home and go to sleep.
Because as I think it was Shane Burgo said, this is a part-time job. Chances are you have a regular job you have to go to tomorrow.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, unless you took a sick day or something, yeah.
I think I probably took the day after the elections off.
I don't think I blame you for that.
Yeah.
No. And then we will have a new counselor at large tonight. Also, we will have new school committee members. Their term begins, what is it, the first Monday in January?
The first Monday in January is the inauguration, yeah.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
Linda Moore had mentioned January 7th. I haven't
Yeah.
had a chance to look
Yeah,
at
I
this.
think that's what she said too.
Yeah. Hey, what is life like between now and say that?
It was a little surprising to me that people called immediately with things they needed. Like, you
they were
weren't
calling you and you weren't in office
Yes,
yet?
yes.
Okay.
So
voter turnout.
Here we go.
11.32%.
That's good.
Chevy called it around 10 to 11. I'm going to go through. The results come as the order that they're on the ballot. So bear with me when I read these through. Obviously, Assessor at Large, Peter Berthium, 5,721 votes. School Committee, vote for 3. Number 1, Melissa Costa, 4,831. Richard Porter, 3,536. Vaughn Marie Maniz, 3,310. Marcus Coward, 3,182. The ward councilors, Ward 1, Leo Choquette, 1,428. Matthew Marco, 573. Ward 2, Scott Pemberton, 453. Maria Giesta, 436. Ward 3, Sean Oliver, 726. Ward 4, Derek Baptiste, 847. Ward 5, Joseph Lopes, 1,199. Renee Fernandez, 881. Ward 6, Ryan Pereira, 709. Councilor at Large, they're in order by total votes. Number 1, Ian Abreu, 4,629. James Roy, 3,872. Shane Burgo, 3,781. Brian Gomes, 3,430. Naomi Carney, 3,270. Devin Burns, 3,146. Jennifer Arruda, 2,796. Christopher Carter, 1,958. Ian Saunders, 1,386. And Sean Mulvey, 1,302. And that's it. Everyone can get a copy. Excuse my spelling on that. It's been a long day.
This is the breakdown.
That's the breakdown, and then we have the by precinct as well.
So I'm trying to figure this out. This is out of order.
All right, so we are back here. That is Election Commissioner Manny DeBrito with the election results. Let me go through some of these quickly. First of all, the ward races. I think I'll go to the ward races first. And in Ward 1, Leo Choquette is re-elected with 1,428 votes. Matthew Marco, 573. In Ward 2, the challenger, Scott Pemberton, gets 453 votes to defeat the incumbent Maria Giesta with 436. Ward 3, unopposed, Sean Oliver receiving 726. Ward 4, unopposed, Derek Baptiste with 847. Ward 5, the incumbent Joseph Lopes will return, getting 1,199 votes. Renee Fernandez with 881. And the councilor in Ward 6 that was unopposed, Ryan Pereira with 739, I think is what they announced. We'll have the official numbers for you, and we'll put them up on the screen as soon as we have those available to you. In the council at large race, the top vote getter was Ian Abreu with 4,629. Coming in second place was the challenger, James Roy, with 3,872. I'll be interested to get your take on that in just a moment, Jane. In third place, Brian Gomes, the incumbent, with 3,430. Naomi Carney did...
You left out Shane Burgo was third.
I'm sorry, Shane Burgo.
With 3781.
3781. And so that puts Brian at fourth, and in fifth place is Naomi.
Yep.
She made it. She made it into the top five. So Naomi Carney is returning. In the councilor at large race, quite a showing for James Roy.
Yep.
And what do you think? I was hearing a buzz this weekend that might be a surprise there with James Roy. Any
well,
thoughts
it wasn't
on
a
that?
surprise to me because,
okay, all right.
Because James and his wife are both community organizers, and they had a very well-planned and organized campaign. They had a lot of volunteers. They knew what they wanted, what message they wanted to send out. They worked really hard. They did a lot of door-to-door. So, I mean, it was just really well executed.
In the councilor races, were you surprised with Ward 2, Scott Pemberton defeating Maria Giesta?
I was, yes. Yeah. I am surprised by that. I mean, I thought Maria's always been a great counselor, and she loves the job and loves working for her constituents. She's a very empathetic person. So we'll see how it goes.
So that's a difference
with a new counselor.
Less than 20 votes, right?
Yeah.
In the 453 for Scott Pemberton and 436 for Maria Giesta. Joe Lopes reelected in Ward 5, which was your ward, correct?
That was, yeah.
Yeah. So he defeats Renee Fernandez for that race. And how much do you think the parallel parallel products that fight in Ward 1 had an influence on this election?
I think it did a lot. I'm sure that it did in Ward 1. I don't know. I did not meet the opponent. I didn't see any materials from him, so I don't know what he was doing for a campaign. But yeah, I'm sure that was probably the biggest issue in Ward 1 at this time.
Right. The first candidate in, and we invite him to join us here at the table. Please welcome again the top vote getter in the councilor at large race, getting, I believe it's 4,629 votes. That is Ian Abreu. Congratulations.
Thank you, Pete.
Congrats.
Thank you, Jane. Good to see you both. Thanks for having me.
You sound a little hoarse.
I've been at it all day. Yes, been at it all day. Yes, yeah. It's when you start at, and Jane knows, when you start this at 6 a.m. and you're getting the signs out for 7 a.m. and by the time 8 o'clock hits, you're pretty well spent.
He just asked me what people did after the elections and how late you stay out, and I'm like, are you kidding?
Late into the night, you're ready for bed, right?
Oh yeah, well, you got to remember, I have children who wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. So, I'm always on the go. But no, happy to be here and very pleased with the results.
Okay. I mentioned to you on the night of the primary that I was impressed because you were out there, even in the primary, you were out there with the signs and talking to people in a race that some would say you had it in the bag, but you don't look at it that way.
I don't, and I am as excited today as I am when I first became elected 10 years ago. There's a lot of work that lie ahead. I'm committed to the mission. I love this community. I love this city, and I'm happy that the residents of this great city decided to keep me around for 2 more years. I love the work.
Has it been everything you thought it would be in the 10 years? If you can go back 10 years ago, I'm sure there's been surprises, and there was probably maybe more to it than you thought at the time. But what are your thoughts?
Well, I think social media has really taken off even more since when I first was elected in 2015. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have TikTok, you have all the pages. So you want to try to keep on top of all that trend and all that now, and to keep ahead of the curve and to stay ahead of it. So those have been things I've been trying to stay ahead of. And of course, constituents, they contact me and many of us now by those means, through Facebook Messenger, through those things. I know, Jane, you would get phone calls at your home. I don't get phone calls on my home anymore. Now I get cell phone calls, right? And times have changed. The whole platform of constituent service isn't what it once was. It's evolved. But I enjoy the work. I enjoy the phone calls late at night, the text messages. It's something that I want to continue to do, and I'm glad I'm going to be able to do it.
You have young children at home. Does that factor into it? I mean, is it hard to keep the two? I know the kids have joined you on the campaign trail too. So,
yeah,
is it hard to keep it separate, or to have enough time to go to their concerts and things?
It's very difficult, and there are times that I fall short as a father. I'll be honest with you. There are times I've missed some things, but I try my best to compartmentalize my life so that my children get the attention that they need and deserve, and that the citizens of New Bedford get the attention that they need and deserve, because they elected me to fight bureaucracy, to give them great constituent service, to hold the line on spending, to make sure that I'm filing motions that are appropriate on the council floor, that I'm taking votes that are fiscally responsible. That's why they elected me. So it's a fine line, but I do make time for my kids, obviously. I coached my son's t-ball team this year, and I really enjoyed that experience. So there's a lot of things that I like to do with my kids. So it's not easy, but I try to do the best I can.
All right. Well, congratulations, Ian.
Thank you, Pete.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye, Jane.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ian Abreu, the top vote getter in the councilor at large race. We have two of our school committee. Three. Okay. We have the top three here. And
can you all come up?
Yeah, sure. We can somehow make this work. Well, first of all, we have Vaughn Marie Moniz, who came in third place with 310 votes. So if you could just, we are going to squeeze everybody in here?
Oh, yeah. I'm telling them, I'm making an executive decision to Charlene's chagrin.
Just move that around.
One person talk at a time, though, please. So you only have one mic.
Let's start with Melissa, who we didn't have a chance to see earlier tonight, but the top vote getter and the incumbent wins, and you return to the school committee. They were talking before about how it's sort of become your own community as this race developed. Do you feel that way also?
Absolutely. We really have become a cohesive unit, which in this day and age, it was refreshing to be a part of something like that. A couple of days ago, I sent out a message. We all had Facebook Messenger, and I was like, no matter what happens, it's been a pleasure getting to know. I knew each one of the individuals individually, but getting to know them better throughout this campaign, and just sharing our stories. And so it really has been a really positive, which we get to now bring that energy to the school committee, which we now get to bring that to the school committee and impact over 13,000 children's lives with that kind of energy.
Are you excited moving forward to work with your new board here?
Absolutely. Yeah. We have a parent perspective. We have a former educator perspective. I'm a social worker. I bring the incumbency perspective. And so I look forward to mentoring as much as they want, and just sharing and, being a part of it all.
Right. Super. Congratulations. Vaughn Marie, if you could lean forward there, and what are your thoughts as you heard the numbers come in?
Oh my gosh. Floored that 3,310 New Bedford residents wanted me to have this seat. So I just feel grateful and really honored for everyone's support. I have to give a special shout out. I mean, of course, my family and close friends have been great, but I have to say, Senor Carlos Betancourt, man, he put in so much work, really getting the word out to the Latino voices. And I'm really hoping that the Latino community came out in high numbers for us. But I'm so grateful for everyone's support. I'm so grateful to have Rick and Melissa and Marcus, of course, along for the ride. And the work starts now. So I'm really excited.
Rick, you may have to pull that a little closer to you there, but you were the second vote getter, 3,536. Different from your first time around. Can you compare the feelings?
Well, I mean, it's better to be on this end of it than obviously at the other end.
Sometimes I ask a question, I think, why did I ask that?
No, but again, the experience that we had last time was similar to this time. It was getting out in the community. It was getting to know your fellow competitors. And you can't take that away. That was a great experience. Today was a phenomenal experience to be out and about the different polling places and such. But yes, it's wonderful to have had this opportunity to now be able to serve on the committee. And as Melissa and Bon Marie said, we're looking forward to all of us being on together. And yes, Melissa, we will take any advice and mentorship that we can have. So, and as Vaughn Marie said, the work begins now.
And your retirement is on hold.
No, well, yeah, it's it's going to be a little different. We'll say that, but never on hold.
Well, congratulations to all three.
Thank you very much.
Can I just jump in?
Yes, of course,
I
anytime.
have to say, we were really impressed with Marcus, his commitment. And I'm hoping that you all three will work to mentor with him, and
Yes, absolutely.
if he wants to stay involved. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm not telling you your business, but as a senior person, I'm going to tell you your business.
But I think we're still in that regard. We're still a foursome. I mean, you can't take away these last 2.5 months. I mean, a couple nights a week, we were all together. And I think we said earlier, it was a little different today because we were kind of separate with our own campaign. So no, that sense of camaraderie and working together continues.
Right. Yeah, we actually were talking about that out there, that before we knew the results, we were saying, whoever doesn't make it this time, I will gladly jump on their campaign.
Yeah, because there's only a difference of 128 votes.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah.
But
congratulations.
Can I just say one more thing?
One more, sure.
Voter turnout, 11.32.
11.32. Yeah.
That's awesome compared to preliminary.
And you did predict a doubling.
Yeah, I just was counting my own number and as what number I was in the precinct at the same time of day. I figured it was going to double.
Yeah.
But,
well, that's great. I mean, it's still low, but
we're getting
better.
There.
Yes.
Better.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. The election commissioner is rejoining us. Manny DeBrito is here. I just saw him wipe his brow. It's been that kind of day, I'm sure, as it is always busy and hectic on election day. But we'll talk to Manny for just a moment here. And we talked with you before the ballot boxes arrived. And, of course, they came in. You went through your process. And how did everything go? How would you sum up the day?
I missed a long day, as usual. I thought it went well. We got the results back so quick. And that's just a testament to the poll workers. Like I said, when issues arise, and they're going to arise, how they deal with them. I put my trust and faith in these folks, and they do a great job. And again, getting all the results here. I'm just glad, it seemed like there was a lot of people that turned out for the results, and people were excited about it. And we need more of that, right? I think I did call it. So I'm going to put some money on Mega Millions tonight as 10 to 12%. And, and again, we want to be higher than that. Obviously, we need to get people excited about elections. And, when you see there's a challenge and people are running for seats, it sparks interest. So, I think it's important for New Bedford that people turn out to vote.
Right. All right. Well, everything seems smooth on this end. How late before you get home?
I get a little bit more time to wrap some stuff up, but head home. I'm not going to sleep tonight. By the time I go home, my brain doesn't stop, and I'll keep playing things over and over and over again. But
are things finalized tonight?
No.
No. Okay. What happened? How do they become finalized?
They could be a recount. There's all kind of things. I go through and, all the jams and all of that stuff today, people count that by hand, and then manually we add it after the fact. So, that's why it's always unofficial. I know some races were pretty close. That's, what we have for today. I'll go through all of that stuff. There's a, certain period, everything has to be locked in the vault. And then we'll start going through that. My staff starts doing the voter activity because we want to know that, everybody that voted is counted. We know, obviously we don't know who they voted for, but we know that they voted. So we go through all that stuff. So it takes a week or so. And again, if there's a recount, obviously that kind of delays things a little bit.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks again. And seems like it was a good day.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys.
We'll see you in 2 years.
Thank you.
Bye.
Manny DeBrito, the election commissioner. You may have noticed on the screen, we have been running some of the results for you. And of course, that's the councilor in Ward 1. We had Leo Chiquette defeating Matthew Marco, 1,428 to 573. In the Ward 3 race we'll go, that was unopposed. Sean Oliver getting 726 votes. Ward 2, we had Scott Pemberton defeating the incumbent Maria Giesta by just under 20 votes. Yeah, so that was a close one. Ward 4, Derek Baptiste, who stuck his head in to wave hello earlier this evening.
Literally.
Yeah.
Waved.
And in Ward 5, Joseph Lopes defeating Rene Fernandez. And of course, in Ward 6, Brian Pereira was unopposed as well. You'll see the councilor at large numbers flash by here, but we are joined now by one of the contenders, and that is Devin Burns, who unfortunately did not make it into the top 5.
Right.
Right.
Close but no cigar, as they say. But yeah, so here we are again. I tried. I gave it my all, and I appreciate everyone's support who came out and did vote for me. I was actually really pleased with the numbers. I had a ton of support, a ton of enthusiasm with my my backers, and we ran a grassroots campaign, drawing from all members of the community. And I think that our message resonated with people. I think that I have a lot of skills to bring to the city council. I think I have a lot of, talents and things that I could add, but it just wasn't to be tonight. So it's a little disappointing, but I'm you don't win if you don't try. So.
You're coming along. Is there going to be another try, or is it too soon for me to ask you that question?
Yeah, I think it's too soon to tell right now. I still have to digest these numbers and talk to my family and talk to my friends. But again, for anyone who did support me out there, I just want to say thank you very much, and it means a lot to me. So,
all right. Devin, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Devin, do you feel it's worth it? I mean, how do you feel today? Like, does this feel like? Are you puzzled? Because I'm puzzled. I'm very puzzled.
So I think this was an interesting race. I mean, it's a little bit, unusual in the fact that there was an open seat, that there was a couple strong challengers, that there was a ton of money coming into this race that I don't think we've seen before to that extent. So I think those all were factors. So I think I'm a little puzzled, but I think I just have to digest it a little bit. I thought I had my chances were really good, and I thought a lot of people thought that, but it just didn't go that way tonight. So,
all right.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you
for being a part of.
Of course.
That's what I was gonna say. Is thank you for your effort.
Yes, definitely. I think anyone
People
who
appreciate it.
runs deserves our respect.
Yeah. Absolutely.
For what is involved.
Yeah, and again, I think I said this going in. I said, regardless of win or lose, I'm still very blessed. I love this city. I have a successful business. I have a beautiful family. So, I mean, I'm going home a winner still. So,
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Joining us next is Councilor at Large candidate and winner Shane Burgo, receiving 3,781 votes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel about what you've seen?
I am still shocked, I guess, going through a lot of the data. Obviously, Devin Burns just walked out. I'll be honest with you, I expected to be congratulating him as councilor-elect tonight. We saw in the preliminary election, which was a 5.77% voter turnout, where he finished in 4th, very strong showing. I fully expected that he would be elected tonight. I'm also shocked to see in Ward 2, my colleague Maria Giesta did not win. I'm very concerned, if I can be honest, about Councilor-elect Pemberton and his supposed plans and the things that have been said. Obviously, we will work with those on the council, but I am sad, I guess, for those that I know have worked very hard, that have, again, as we talked earlier, before the results, about that institutional knowledge, the work that takes place on this council, a lot of the work that maybe the public isn't aware of, the knowledge that it takes for this job. So it's very hard to see those that have put in the work and not see those results come out the way that you expect them to. So as excited as I am for myself and thankful that as I am for the people of New Bedford for, again, putting their trust in me as their counselor at large, I am also very sad for those people that I know are going home disappointed tonight.
You said that you're analyzing the data. Maybe you could help us. What are you looking at? What are you seeing?
So one of the really great things is we get an official breakdown of all of the different precincts within each ward. And so it's useful for me to be able to see where we did well in particular neighborhoods and where we didn't do so well. I know for me, for example, I am usually the #1 vote getter in all of the precincts in Ward 4, except for the Caroline Street apartment. So this time around, I believe that's 4E. So for me, I was shocked. So I'm like, well, why is this the only precinct in Ward 4 that seems to not like me so much?
Did you go over there and see?
We sure did.
Yeah.
We knocked on every single door in Ward 4 Precinct E. So we haven't had a chance to dissect all of the data yet. We've been interviewing, I don't know.
4C?
4E, I believe it is, Caroline Street Apartments. But I don't know if that made a difference or not. So those are the kind of data you look at as a counselor at large is, okay, where am I strong? Where am I weak? So when you're running again later on, you go back and you meet with those people. And for me as a counselor at large, or just a counselor in general, even ward counselors, they use that data because, again, if you're doing this job right, you're working with these individuals, not just during election years, but on off years as well.
Right.
And so we're seeing that support. I want to give a quick shout out to all of my supporters that are at the Cape Verdean American Veterans Hall right now. I'm on my way, I promise. I will be there shortly, so please hang tight if you're there. Fran at the bar and Desiree, if you're there, and my brother Jarrell and all the other supporters. So we'll be there shortly. And so tonight, as I mentioned, as sad I am for those who didn't make it, it also is a night of celebration for all the hard work, those who have held signs and helped us knock doors and door tags. It's also a moment to celebrate for the end of the selection season.
I won't hold you up. I'll let you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks for coming in. Congrats.
Shane Burgo. All right, we are going to recap the numbers and look at the winners and the losers and wrap it up for tonight. There you have the results for the Counselor at Large race. The 5 counselors on the left of your screen, they are returning to office. That is Ian Abreu. James Roy, the challenger, came in second. Then Shane Burgo third. Brian Gomes fourth, and Naomi Carney does rebound from the preliminary election to make it into the top 5. On the school committee race, you met the 3 winners, Melissa Costa, the incumbent, also Richard Porter and Vaughn Marie Moniz, with Marcus Coward on the outside there. But I was inspired to hear him tonight.
I did. I was moved by him. Yep.
And I hope he comes back.
Me too.
I hope he stays.
Which is why I asked the winners if they were going to keep him around and mentor him going forward.
Good point.
Yeah.
And the ward races in Ward 1, the incumbent Leo Choquette defeating Matthew Marco. A surprise to many in Ward 2 as Scott Pemberton defeats the incumbent Maria Giesta. By less than 20 votes, so it'll be interesting to see if any recount is called there.
Mm-hmm.
Ward 3, Sean Oliver returns. He did not have a challenger. Derek Baptiste returns in Ward 4. In Ward 5, the incumbent Joe Lopes defeated Rene Fernandez to return to office. And in Ward 6, Ryan Pereira. And of course, in the assessor at large race, Peter Berthium, of course, running unopposed. Do you have any closing thoughts on the night, Jane?
Well, as I said, there's always a surprise. I am surprised that Naomi was able to make up the deficit and get slide in as the fifth on the Council at Large race. Hoping that Devin Burns doesn't lose heart, because I think he's a great asset to this community. You know, he would be a great counselor, I think. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next time. And I was happy with all the people we met tonight. I think that you could see that, and even in this world where things can be so jaded and so negative, people here tonight were doing things for the right reason because they love their community and they want to be a part of it and have a say. And it's great to see.
All right. I thank you again. It's always a pleasure.
It is always a pleasure.
Right.
Thank you.
And I want to thank our crew. We have many people behind the scenes here, running up and down hallways and cameras and such. Thanks to all of you for your hard work. And that'll do it for tonight and our live election coverage here from City Hall in New Bedford. So to wrap it up for the night, for everyone at the New Bedford Cable Network, I'm Pete Braley on behalf of my co-host, Jane Gonsalves. Have a good night and thanks for watching.